breast collars have a really defining purpose. And the job of a breast collar is to help keep a saddle in place. Now, Colorado Saddlery has one of the best selections of breast collars I've ever seen anywhere. But we're going to feature one particular breast collar that we call a pulling collar. And what's so special about this collar is a couple things. First of all, the neck of the collar, as you can see it here, is really nice and thick. A lot of breast collars, sometimes they're a little thin, and especially on larger horses, they dig into the horse's shoulder. And that's one thing that you don't have to worry about with this collar. The other thing is the way you have a pad and to support the ring, and the way both of the necks are connected. It really evens the pressure and the pull of this collar. And of course, it connects to the cinch underneath. And this has to be one of the very best collars you can use, especially if you have a horse that's a fairly wide-bodied horse, and as you ride, the saddle tends to pull back on some of those horses, especially rounded withers. This is a great collar for a horse like that. Say, Matt, tell me, what do you like about this pulling collar?
Biggest benefit to this is that the geometry of this breast collar allows it to be effective in holding the saddle in place, and simultaneously it doesn't cut any wind or cut into the horse's throat, restricting blood and air. It also attaches up here to the swells on this saddle in a way that really is effective in holding the saddle forward, much more so than tying to these D's.
Yes, even sometimes, you know, a lot of saddles will have breast collar D's on them, but even where they're placed, quite often they're still low enough that it can really cut into the breathing ability of a horse. And that's the very unique part of this particular breast collar.
The other benefit really is the freedom of his shoulder. This breast collar is in no way impacting the freedom of this shoulder, so he can move his legs freely, climbing or going downhill without any restriction from the breast collar itself. We think it's a great solution both for mountain trail riders and for working cowboys that are really dragging heavy cattle. It's just a perfect solution for both of those scenarios.
Yes, and I think the other thing, Matt, is that because it connects to the swell of the saddle, it automatically helps us to put the collar in the best possible position, because so often you'll see collars way down here and they interfere with the shoulder, and they're really not doing anything for the saddle at all. They're either sometimes they're so big that they do nothing. So I think that's the other advantage of having this connecting to the swell.
Yeah.